Okay, guys, so we're gonna be reacting to every SML video based off a movie.
SML has done many videos that were based off of or inspired by successful movies, and today we're going over all of them. And there isn't any better video to start with.
By the way, this video is 50 minutes long, so stay around and
SML movie Brooklyn Guy the Liar.
It's a bit of a longer
video kicks off with
SML
Brooklyn Guy
Universe
forgetting
video.
Penelope's birthday. He would lie about it and claim he did remember, but Penelope would ask him simple questions about her to prove it, and he would answer them all wrong. This caused Penelope to wish that Brooklyn Guy wouldn't lie for an entire day, and he got cursed by her birthday wish, so now he literally can't lie for the entire day. And as we all know, this is not going to go well. As he goes through his jobs, doctor, cop, lawyer, firefighter, and pizza delivery guy, his brutal honesty ruins lives, relationships, and his career, all while he blurts out wildly inappropriate truths. Eventually, he figures out the birthday wish Penelope had is the cause, and begs her to undo it, but she keeps trolling him by pretending to help without really meaning it. In the end, he gives up and decides to sleep off the rest of the day, planning to go back to his regular lying life tomorrow. Now, to some people, the plot may have already been clear on what it's based off of, but for those who don't know, this video is based off the movie The Liar. In this movie, there was a character named Fletcher Reed, and he had a son named Max and an ex-wife named Audrey. Fletcher loved spending time with Max. However, he was heavily known to break promises with Max and Audrey. However, things would take a wild turn when Fletcher would miss Max's birthday, when his senior partner Miranda lures him to do the dirty with her in the office to land a promotion, and because of this, Max would wish that Fletcher can't lie for the day. The wish would heavily mess up Fletcher and even land him in jail. However, we shift the scary scale up with SML movie Saw. In
There's a
this
few
video,
Saw
Marvin and
movies,
Rose
too.
try to watch a
There's like
movie,
4?
but the chaos starts when Jeffy
SML ones, I mean. There's like probably, isn't there like 11 of the real ones? I think there's 3 based on Saw, and then SML did a few where
he knocks
Billy-
himself out while riding
Billy's
his tricycle down
in
the stairs, and Craig shows up asking if his creepy friend Billy can stay. Billy instantly makes himself at home by stuffing the TV remote in a vase full of broken glass and needles, zip tying silverware together, and replacing toilet paper with duct tape and sandpaper, tormenting everyone in the house. After several pranks, Marvin tries to play a simple game with Billy, but even that turns into a nightmare involving barbed wire and disturbing Pictionary drawings. Things finally end when Jeffy wakes up, gives Billy his tricycle, and then shoves him down the stairs in sweet revenge. Now, like the title clearly states, this video is based off of the infamous horror film Saw. Now, in the real movie, we wouldn't have Billy roaming around the house pulling off harmful pranks on people, but we would see the actual jigsaw killer kidnap 2 men, and they would wake up on opposite sides of a deceased body. They had to either fight it out or escape to survive, and the jigsaw killer would use the Billy puppet as a way to give off the instructions for the games and what to do. Now, fans liked this video a lot, and Logan would see very positive feedback from it. This feels exactly like an old SML episode, and it was funny AF. Honestly, this video is a masterpiece. Once again, releasing bangers of videos. Thanks, SML crew. Now, Logan would take note of this, and throw out a sequel later on, and this brings us to SML movie Saw 2. The video starts off with Brooklyn Guy being drunk and depressed about the Heat game. So when Karen suggests they rent out a room on Airbnb to pay bills, he agrees, only to regret it when their guest turns out to be Billy. Billy terrorizes the couple with booby traps involving barbed wire, razors, and mayonnaise, putting phones and bathroom handles in deadly traps and even triggering Jonathan to show up after sending Karen's nudes. Things escalate when Billy threatens to post from Brooklyn Guy's Twitter, unless he risks grabbing the phone from a bowl of glass and AIDS needles, leading Brooklyn Guy to desperately call his boss from Jonathan's phone. alone. Just when they think it's over, Brooklyn Guy and Karen wake up chained together in a dark room with Billy on the TV screen, offering a deadly game, only for them to casually walk out because they were never actually trapped. Now, just like in Saw 1, this video doesn't directly copy the movie's plot, but they both share one key similarity. In the movie, Detective Eric Matthews is thrown into a high-stakes case where he and his team try to track down the notorious killer Jigsaw, who's locked 8 people in a creepy, abandoned house filled with deadly traps, and the people have to compete in various twisted challenges to be able to leave. The twist is that one of these people is Eric's own son, Daniel. As a toxic nerve gas fills the house, the clock is ticking, and the pressure is on to catch Jigsaw and save everyone before it's too late. Now, just like in the SML video, these both took place in a house, but it's still cool to see how Logan adds a different plot style to make them feel new and interesting. However, because we're on the topic of scary movies, we have to talk about SML movie Scream. This video starts off with Chef Pee making popcorn when he gets a creepy phone call from someone pretending to be him, calling him sexy and asking to check the pantry. Turns out it was a trap, and he gets stabbed by a guy wearing a ghost face costume. Junior finds Chef Pee-Pee's body and calls the cops, and Brooklyn Guy shows up with Susan, acting goofy while investigating, eventually finding the bloody knife in a drawer. But thinking the popcorn was somehow bleeding, he starts questioning everyone in the house, including Braxton, who proves to be too lazy to move. Marvin and Rose, who are watching the movie, end up pulling over a suspicious driver in a ghost face mask, who stabs Simmons and then escapes. Later on, Rose gets killed too. Chaos breaks out, and after a wild chase, the killer trips and accidentally stabs himself. Turns out it was Poopy the whole time.
Oh, I thought it was... what's his name? James. The guy that plays the... Oh, no, that's just a different video I'm thinking of, where they bring him back. Forget what the video is
Poopy's
called.
characters in videos, and dies after revealing his twisted plan.
Poopy?
Yes, it's me.
But why? Well, why'd you kill all those characters?
Because I only wanted to be Poopy characters, so I killed Chef Pee-Pee and Rose and Simmons because I only wanted to be Poopy. Why can't it just be Poopy?
Now, this video was clearly based off the movie Scream. In the movie, a small town was being terrorized by a masked killer named Ghostface, who targets high school students while taunting them with horror movie trivia. Sydney Prescott, a teenager dealing with her mother's murder a year earlier, becomes the killer's main target. As the bodies pile up, Sydney and her friends try to uncover the killer's identity, leading to a shocking twist involving people she thought she could trust. And that person was Billy Loomis, which was someone Sydney knew. Now, SML,
which ended up being the killer, right? I thought Jenna Ortega was the main character. I guess she's not in all of the Scream movies, only some of them. Because I don't remember which one it was, but last year I watched the one that Jenna Ortega
plot of it, but the main idea of Ghostface going around killing people was based off of the movie, and the shocking ending of Poopy being the killer is just as shocking as when Sydney found out that it was Billy at the end of the real movie. Now, that video was definitely a cool one, but Logan wouldn't stop, as he would make a sequel to it titled SML Movie Scream 2. In this video, Hank and Suzanne are watching the movie Stab at the theater, but Hank gets annoyed that there is no nudity and sneaks off to the bathroom to do his thing, only to get stabbed by Ghostface, who then heads to the
one of
theater
them
and
ends
kills
up being
Suzanne too.
James.
Finally, someone's based enough to kill the Huckerdoos. Brooklyn Guy and Susan show up to investigate, but after some goofy back and forth over names, Brooklyn Guy ends up getting suspended for delivering the bad news.
Honestly, it is kind of lazy though. We got Suzanne, and Susan. She's Susie, the mom Suzanne, and then the other girl that works with Brooklyn Guy.
Meanwhile,
is Susan.
Ghostface crashes Judy and Tyrone's house, but instead of killing them, he just gets high with them and prank calls Marvin. Later, Brooklyn Guy invites Marvin to hang out at a pumpkin patch, college. But Ghostface shows up claiming to be an old college buddy. After, they would end up throwing a party, and Ghostface reveals he's actually the announcer from Charlie and Friends before heading out.
There we go.
And this SML movie was no different to Scream 1, and would base the main idea off the main event from the real movie. In Scream 2, Sidney Prescott tries to move on with her life at college, but a new Ghostface killer emerges and starts a fresh wave of murders tied to the events of the original Woodsboro killings. The main killings would be the two college seniors, Maureen and Phil. They would go to an early screening of Stab, the movie based off the Woodsboro murders. Phil heads to the bathroom and ends up getting killed by somebody in a Ghostface costume.
Ugh.
Then takes his seat next to Maureen like nothing happened. During the movie, the killer suddenly stabs Maureen right there in the theater, but the crowd is so hyped up that they think it's just a part of the show. Maureen stumbles on stage, crying for help,
sure.
but nobody takes her seriously, until she collapses and dies in front of everyone. As the body count rises, Sydney, along with familiar faces like Dewey, Gail, and Randy, try to uncover who's behind the mask this entire time. The killer begins targeting people with the same names as the first movie's victims, turning the sequel into a twisted meta-commentary on horror sequels. In the end, the true killers are revealed in a dramatic showdown. Seeking revenge and fame, killers turn out to be Mickey and Mr. Loomis, who's been posing as a local reporter named Debbie Saul. Mickey, a film student and one of Sydney's friends, wanted to become famous by blaming his killing spree on the influence of movies. Mrs. Loomis, on the other hand, was out for revenge over the death of her son, Billy, from the first film. Her plan was to use Mickey as the fall guy while she disappeared after getting her revenge on Sydney. This movie plot was actually really accurate to the SML movie when it came to the main killings of the story. However, both of these movies, which got more than one video made off of them by SML, were cool, but SML didn't forget to parody the biggest horror movie of 2024. And that brings us to the infamous SML video, Terrifier. The video kicks off with Jeffy begging Marvin to watch a super scary movie, claiming it'll make him poop in his underoos, which he does, but Marvin refuses, thinking it'll be too much for him, especially after Jeffy freaked out during Hotel Transylvania. Eventually, they all give in and put on Terrifier, a gory horror movie featuring Art the Clown, but quickly it gets too intense, with Marvin turning it off when things get brutal, though Jeffy, Jr., and the gang sneak in later to keep watching. As the movie's chaos spills into the real world, Art the Clown starts attacking characters like Cody, Judith, and even Chef Pee-Pee, leading to a full-on panic with Jr. and Jeffy realizing that he's actually in their house. In the end, Jeffy smashes Art with a hammer and saws off his head to make sure he's dead for good, while casually declaring that he's Dunyan rings with it. Now, the plot of this movie is heavily modified by Logan, and the only real part that's based off of the movie is Art, the clown. But the movie is about a sadistic clown named Art who terrorizes two women on Halloween night after they encounter him in a creepy, rundown part of town. What starts as unsettling stalking quickly turns into brutal,
Honestly,
violence.
as crazy as it is, I'm not a fan of horror movies, but like I don't go out of my way to watch them. But if I have to, I will.
Begins a relentless killing.
And the only ones that at the top of my head that I'll say I'm never planning on watching is Art and Jigsaw. Those two just looked way too gory for me. I can watch Halloween. I don't know about Friday. Oh, Leatherface is probably really gory too because it's this friggin' chainsaw. Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Spree. Now, at this point, many of you are seeing all the iconic horror movies the SML has made parodies of, but no one can ever forget of one of,
Pennywise.
if not the most iconic.
Oh, Pennywise! I keep calling them by the character, not the actual movie's called.
Movie ever made.
And
that is none other than It. In SML movie It, Joseph is out playing basketball.
What are the
when
ones
his
that
ball
aren't
rolls into the sewer. He
related
tries
to
to get it
movies?
back, but Pennywise shows up and kill him. The cops show up, light a sewer explosive for some reason, and the news of it gets wind. When Junior hears a bunch of weird rumors about Pennywise feeding on people's fears, curious, he tests it out by talking about his own fear, which is a character named Coco. And after his friends leave, Pennywise kills Penelope,
Momo,
who is
right?
scared of clowns. Later, Cody narrowly escapes
Not
after facing his
Coco.
own fear.
He just said Coke. I guess they can't mention Momo.
Peanut butter stuck to the roof of his
YouTube or
mouth
something?
and
I
rushes
don't
to warn Junior. Then Pennywise shows up disguised as Coco to freak Junior out.
That's
but
not
Cody tells
Coco,
him
it's
to insult the
Momo.
clown, which weirdly works. Then Pennywise would get upset and drop the disguise. Seizing the moment, Junior rips out his heart, finally killing the monster. Now, if it wasn't already clear, this is very well based off the real movie It. And in the movie, it's
My friend, I don't know. I don't have any proof of this. But he said he has a family friend, more of like his dad's friend, that actually worked on the CGI for it. He never told me the name, so I have no way to search it up to prove this. So I don't really believe it, since I have no proof. That's just what he told me. I feel like it's cool if it is
in
true.
the small town of Derry, Maine. Kids start disappearing mysteriously, and a group of 7 friends begin to suspect something really strange is going on. They soon discover the one behind it all isn't even human. It's a creepy, shape-shifting clown named Pennywise, who turns into whatever you're most afraid of. The group, who called
I feel
themselves
like-
the Losers Club, realize that they're the only ones who can stop it.
I'm only saying this because obviously Pennywise isn't real. But I feel like Pennywise is a pretty dumb villain. Or, sorry, slasher. Whatever you want to call him. Because if you just don't show your fear and, like, don't show you're actually afraid and, like, stick up for yourself and, like, don't show it, he won't kill you.
So they team up and decide to take the monster down themselves. This movie to
You are
many
dumb.
is an
Ugh.
absolute banger, and SML did the parody very well, like most of these other movies. Now, taking a break from the scary side of things,
Please.
let's take a look at a more normal movie. And that brings us to SML movie
The
Fast
one
and
that
Furious.
Logan broke his
In
back
this video, Jeffy and his friends got invited to PJ Crenshaw's party, but PJ says Jeffy's car isn't cool
The
enough.
fact that
So they're-
even after he broke his back, he literally was still filming videos. He didn't want to take a break. That's how you know bro's committed.
uninvited unless he shows up with a better one.
Crazy.
Cody suggests drag racing to win a new ride, which leads Jeffy to challenge Vin Diesel, only to end up racing
Diesel.
Prince Abu Dhabi in a Lamborghini and getting totally smoked. Feeling down, Jeffy returns home, but Richard offers him his dad's Porsche 911 to help him out, and with it, Jeffy wins the rematch against Prince Abu Dhabi, and even beats Dougie with his car too. Things are looking up until Prince Abu Dhabi rolls in with a Tesla Model S Plaid and challenges Jeffy for all the cars he's won. And shockingly, Jeffy loses everything. The gang realizes
come
that
on,
they
man.
could have taken the Porsche to the party in the first place. In a surprise ending, Logan hops on to
Yep.
reveal that he actually crashed a car while filming the video, doing too many burnouts, which caused the tread on the tires to burn off, resulting in him breaking his back. Now, this video was based off the actual Fast and Furious movie.
Never watched any of them.
Now, the plot is mostly different from the actual movie and based on the initial
There's a
concept
YouTuber I
of
watch
the
that reacts to movies. I have all of them in a playlist that is public. If you guys want to see the kind of videos I watch, I have a whole bunch of like stuff on it, over like 400 or 500 videos in it. I'm slowly deleting them as I watch them, but I'm also adding new ones.
However, in the movie, the main character is Brian, and he's an undercover cop trying to catch a crew that's been hijacking trucks. And to do that, he dives headfirst into the underground street racing scene in LA. He enters races to get close to Dominic Toretto, the king of the streets. And after blowing up his own
Dom
car in a race, he
Toretto.
earns Dom's trust by helping him escape the cops. As Brian gets deeper into the crew, racing, partying, and even dating Dom's sister, he then starts to that Dom
why?
actually might be behind the hijackings. Things explode when the
Dating
truth
his
comes
sister
out,
is crazy.
leading to a wild highway chase, some serious betrayals, and Brian ultimately letting Dom go instead of arresting him. Now, SML using this plot and potentially making someone like Brooklyn Guy be Brian would have definitely been cool, but Logan still definitely plotted this video in a good way. Now, while we may not have seen Brooklyn Guy play a huge role in Fast and Furious, we definitely did see him play a huge role in SML movie Texas Chainsaw Massacre. In this video, Brooklyn Guy delivers a pizza to Marvin.
Bro, can they just make a video? Wait, or did they? No, they didn't make a Halloween video, did they? Like a Michael Myers one? I don't think they did
He
yet.
casually
They
says
did
that he's got
Jason,
4
Freddy
tickets.
Krueger, Pennywise. Yeah, I don't think they've done Michael
The
Myers yet.
Cowboys versus
They need
Chargers game
to.
in Texas and invites Marvin's family along. Despite Marvin thinking they won't make it on time, Brooklyn Guy promises to drive at nonstop speed. After accidentally getting high from mushroom pizza, they hit the road, but run out of gas and end up at a creepy, abandoned house owned by none other than Leatherface. When they spot body parts and Leatherface's grandma's head, they freak out and hide.
That's one of the
for
only
Leatherface
things I don't like. There's too much blurring in this video.
to try to win Jeffy from a claw machine in a fit of rage. However, he would fail at it. Eventually, they would finally escape with gas in hand. But once home, they realized the game was actually in California. And then Leatherface shows up, knocking at their door for quarters. Now, this video did a really good job at covering the bizarre and horrifying plot that the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie
I could be wrong, but this is just based on what my friend told me. Bubba, so Leatherface, isn't actually like trying to kill people. He's only protecting his family's home, right? Something like that. So like only if he will only kill you if you come into the house, right? So once again, just like Pennywise, this is really avoidable. Just don't go near the house. Well, this is like saying with Jason, don't go to Camp Crystal Lake. I don't know about Michael Myers. I don't know how you would avoid that. Honestly, Michael Myers isn't that scary. You can easily outrun him. It's just the scariest part is eventually you're going to get tired and he will catch up to you because he's never going to stop chasing you. Like, he will keep chasing you until he gets you. He's not going to stop. That's the only scary part about it. If you were like had really good lungs and you were really good, you could run pretty quick, you can do all that, you should be fine. For a bit. I'm telling you, you're not surviving that, but you
had
can
to
live for a
offer,
bit, a good
even though
amount of
Logan
time.
unfortunately had to blur a good portion of the video.
What are you talking about? Oh my god! What the f?
Oh my god, no, this is not good. Guys, it's already halftime. We really need to get moving.
Now, in the real movie, it takes place in 1974, and 5 friends are road tripping through rural Texas to check on their grandfather's grave, which might have been vandalized. Along the way, they pick up a seriously creepy hitchhiker, who ends up slicing himself, and one of them before
What?
getting kicked out of the van. Low on gas, they stop at a nearby house for help, unaware it belongs to Leatherface and his twisted, cannibalistic family. One by one, they're brutally picked off for murder, leaving Sally to fight for her life and run for freedom, desperately trying to escape the nightmare with a chainsaw-wielding maniac on their heels. Now,
Oh yeah, by the way, guys, if you just in case you're wondering, yes, I have made a Fortnite roleplay on this last Halloween. If you haven't watched it, check out my Halloween Fortnite RP playlist. I have done one on
Brooklyn
this.
Guy having to drive to Texas, and this video
Watch it
taking
if you
place
want.
in
You don't have
Texas makes
to.
this video
So-
just the more realistic. And this video was one of the fan favorites to say the least. Okay, now this is a great Halloween video. It has the air of creepiness, but also hilarious as hell. Amazing job as always, SML. Just when I think SML couldn't get any funnier, they release videos like these, and I'm grateful for that. Now, by this point in the video, we've seen that SML has capitalized a lot on scary movies, and has made parodies of them. But one movie in specific that he's capitalized on a lot was The Change Up. Now, the three most notable SML videos for
Really?
this movie that share a similar concept are SML movies Goodman's New Life, Switching Bodies, and Brooklyn Guys Switch. Starting off with Goodman's New Life. In this video, Jeffy's sticking stickers all over Marvin's
Is it
face
really
and
about
joking
this? I
about
don't
putting
even
them in
know.
his
I've
butt
never
to
even
fart
heard
them
about this
out.
movie,
When
so
Goodman shows up to the door,
I'm not really
demanding
sure
Marvin's house payment,
how
and
this could be
threatens to crush Marvin's balls like a
related.
bag of eggs if he doesn't pay up. This next morning, Marvin wakes up in Goodman's rich body. Well,
I've
Goodman
obviously
finds
watched
himself
these
stuck in
videos,
Marvin's
but I
poor,
haven't heard
chaotic
of this
life,
movie.
complete with Jeffy, Rose, and a tiny surprise down there. Marvin quickly embraces the luxury, making friends with Chives, and letting Goodman's spoiled son drop out of school. When Goodman is horrified by his cereal breakfast, cramped living, and being called fat, eventually God shows up, where he explains that he drunkenly swapped their bodies by accident, and in the process teaches Goodman a lesson about humility, and then switches them back. Goodman forgives Marvin's house payment, but still makes him sign the divorce papers to Rose. Next up is Switching Bodies. The video kicks off with Junior giving Thomas a chocolate bath, making a huge mess, which sends Chef Pee-Pee into a rant about how hard his life is. Junior agrees that his life is hard too, and wishes Chef Pee-Pee can live it for a day.
Choo-choo! That makes no damn sense! A chocolate train? You don't know how hard my life is. Now I gotta clean this up again!
Well, hey, my life's hard too. I mean, I gotta play with toys. I gotta watch Doofy the Dragon. I have to play with my
so
friends. I
hard.
always have to entertain them. My life's really hard, Chef Pee-Pee.
Oh, that's nothing hard! Look, just get the hell out of here while I clean up this damn mess!
Clean up Thomas for me too.
It's time to go to sleep and you're making more messes!
They then wake up the next morning to find that they've actually switched bodies. While Junior, being in Chef Pee-Pee's body, he would freak out, and Chef Pee-Pee, being in Junior's body, would take full advantage of giving away toys and trashing Junior's reputation. Desperate to switch back, they summon Craig the Devil, who agrees to help if they listen to his mixtape. So they fake being impressed and get switched back. And for the last video based off this movie, we have Brooklyn Guy Switch. In this video, Brooklyn Guy, Karen, and Jonathan are playing the game of life, when Jonathan pulls a Switch Lives card with another player, and jokes about how it means that he can sleep with Brooklyn Guy's wife, leading Brooklyn Guy to kick him out. The next morning, they accidentally wake up in each other's bodies. Jonathan is now Brooklyn Guy, and quickly takes advantage.
I don't remember this one. What about the Marvin and Jeffy one? There was one about Marvin and Jeffy. Where Marvin and
advantage
Jeffy
of the
switched bodies.
situation, while Brooklyn Guy wakes up surrounded by anime dolls and salty tissues, realizing
I
he's
forgot
trapped
about
in
that
Jonathan's life. Brooklyn Guy tries to convince Karen that they've swapped bodies, but she doesn't believe him, and the chaos breaks out when the brothers argue, throw punches, and try to prove who they really are. After a failed Uno reverse card and more fighting, they finally switch back, but Karen still doesn't believe what happened, until Brooklyn Guy beats the truth out of Jonathan once and for all. Now, finally, after going through all these videos, these are all based off of the movie The Change Up, because in the movie, two best friends wish they had each other's lives, but by the next morning, they would end up waking up in switched bodies, and during the day, they would not like it at all. Now, two similarities these three videos share is that they all have two characters switching bodies with each other, and in every video, one person hates the other's life in some way or another. Now, staying on the goofier side of things, when it comes to movies, let's talk about SML movie Back to School. In this video, Brooklyn Guy finds out that he's never finished 5th grade, and the chief forces him to go back and redo it, much to his frustration, and he would even make a reference to the movie this video is based off of.
Guy, we're gonna need you to repeat the 5th grade.
What? Are you kidding me? This is ridiculous. This is like the plot of an Adam Sandler movie or something.
Guy, either you go back
Which
to the 5th
one?
grade or you turn in your badge.
He ends
Adam
up on the
Sandler.
school
Which
bus
Adam
with
Sandler
Penelope,
movie?
who is completely
The only
mortified.
Adam Sandler movies I've watched is Happy Gilmore 1, Happy Gilmore 2. I watched it with my grandparents. I've watched some of the original. Yes, I watched the second one before the first one. It makes no sense. I'm aware. I think I watched Daddy's Daycare. I forget what they're all called, but I watched a few Adam Sandler
and
movies.
begs him to pretend like they're not related. At school, he causes a bunch of chaos, from messing up spelling test words like possum to embarrassing Penelope by announcing
Honestly, I don't know anyone who spells possum with an O in front of it. Even when I search it up on Google, like speak into my phone and see it doesn't even say the O in front of it. But yeah, I do see how that's here. Let me check. Possum. Yeah, when I search possum, it doesn't have the O in front of it.
The
I guess
class
it
at the start of the
depends. Maybe
period.
Americans
After
put
flunking
the O. I
chemistry
don't know.
and getting punched over Skittles during a math game, the chief finds a loophole to pass him, only to realize Brooklyn Guy now has to go back to kindergarten too. Now, this video was fully referencing and based off of the movie Billy Madison, and the movie is about a guy named Billy Madison who is a complete man-child. His whole life, he was a spoiled rich kid, and his dad basically always helped him pass school all of his life. This would cause Billy to always be drunk or partying. His dad eventually got fed up with this though, and made him retake every grade in the school system in only 24 weeks. Now, this movie, like every other movie that stars Adam Sandler, was peak comedy, and Brooklyn Guy was definitely the perfect fit in this video. I love the reference to Billy Madison, one of Adam Sandler's best movies. This is the plot of an Adam Sandler movie. I love the Billy Madison references. Now, that video was definitely one of the best SML videos based off movies, but the next video we're going to talk about definitely shares that title, and it's none other than SML movie The Purge. The video starts off with Junior, Cody, and Joseph chillin' when they catch the news and see Cody's mom getting arrested for a DUI, which isn't even surprising to Cody at this point. But then a news reporter announces that the first ever purge is starting in a few minutes. Chaos quickly unfolds as everyone kicks each other out to avoid being murdered, and Junior is left home alone after Bowser locks up and goes to watch TV.
More American.
Soon enough, Chef Pee-Pee, Brooklyn Guy, and some others in creepy costumes break in trying to kill Junior, leading to a wild cat and mouse chase where Junior manages to take Simmons and hide until only Chef Pee-Pee is left. Right before Chef Pee-Pee can finish Junior off and deliver a monologue about how much he hates him, the siren goes off signaling the end of the purge. Bowser walks in clueless, and Junior is just left chained up asking if someone's gonna let him go. Now, this video is very clearly based off of the Purge movie, and this video was very graphic to the point where it was taken off of YouTube a long time ago, before any of SML's original demonetizations happened. But anyways, in this movie, there's a future version of America where crime is out of control, so the government comes up with a crazy solution. One night a year, for 12 hours, all crime, including murder, is completely legal. James Sadden, a security salesman, thinks their family will be safe behind their high-tech defenses, but things spiral when someone breaks into their home. Suddenly, James, his wife Mary, and their 2 kids are fighting to stay alive through the night. As chaos unfolds, they're not just battling intruders, they're also trying not to lose their humanity in the process. Now, SML did change it up a lot, but the initial point of the movie was still in this video, and it was definitely quite funny and scary to some people. But now that we're on the topic of scary videos again, let's talk about the scary board game that was running 2016, the Ouija board. And SML would make a video based off of the movie titled SML Movie The Ouija Board. The video starts off with Junior, Cody, and Joseph playing the board game Trouble, but things get weird when Cody brings out a Ouija board and insists they talk to ghosts with it. Despite Junior and Joseph thinking it's a spooky alphabet game, they mess around asking it silly questions, like whether Cody's gay and what the meaning of life is. And to their shock, the board answers yes, and D's nuts. Chef Pee-Pee warns them not to mess with demons, but they ignore him until strange stuff starts happening around the house, like creepy messages in yogurt and flour, and eventually Ken starts moving on his own and straight up murders Cody and Chef Pee-Pee. One by one, everyone seems to disappear or die, and in the end, Junior finds the Ouija board soaked in blood before Ken appears behind him, leaving the ending totally mysterious and dark. Now, the movie was a bit different, but it had a similar concept. In the movie, a girl named Lane loses her best friend Debbie, who seemingly dies by offing themselves after playing a Ouija board alone. Waiting for answers, Lane gathers a group of friends, her boyfriend Trevor, her sister Sarah, Debbie's boyfriend Pete, and their friend Isabel, to use the board and try to contact Debbie. At first, they think they're talking to Debbie's spirit, spirit. But in the process, they unknowingly awoke a very vengeful ghost named Doris Xander, a little girl with a terrifying past tied to the house and the board. One by one, the group starts dying. Isabella's killed first, followed by Pete, both in creepy, supernatural ways. Lane eventually learns that Doris was tortured, and her mouth was sewn shut by her mother to silence her conversation with the spirit world. And now
I feel like
Doris is taking
half
out
this
her rage
video is more on the horror side of things.
on anyone who uses the board. In the
That's at
end,
least what it
Lane
looks
tries
like.
to stop the curse by burning Doris's body, but the final scene suggests the evil may not be gone after all. Now, the Ouija board movie would influence many YouTubers to make videos, most being clickbait of them using the Ouija board, and SML
Obviously.
even took influence. However, another time SML took heavy influence from an
Home
iconic
Alone.
movie series is an SML movie Home Alone 1 and 2. In Home Alone 1, Bowser is bummed when his favorite show goes off the air, but he cheers up after seeing a deal for a monster truck rally and decides to take Chef Pee-Pee with him, leaving Junior at home with a babysitter he never actually hired. Junior, upset about being left behind, decides to prank the supposed babysitter, who turns out to be a burglar named Rango, and accidentally kills him with a bowling ball. As two more burglars break in, Junior sets up deadly traps for them Home Alone style, killing one and knocking out the other, eventually tying him to a toy train track just for the cops to arrive. When Bowser gets home complaining that the rally was a scam, Officer Goodman arrests both George the burglar and Bowser for child neglect, while Junior waves his dad off to jail like it's just another day. Now, in the movie Home Alone 1, the McAllister family is getting ready to head to Paris, but after Kevin gets in trouble for fighting with his brother, he's sent to sleep alone in the attic. The next morning, in the chaos of getting to the airport, they accidentally leave without him, and Kevin wakes up just to find out that he has the whole house to himself.
The bad thing is, this is like one of my favorite Christmas movies. And the fact that bro is older, you're not going to get the original ones the same way. With him, with Macaulay Culkin not being a kid anymore. The thing is, he should have his kid. His kid should be the new Kevin. But I feel like he just won't fit
He
the
starts
same.
living it
Oh,
up,
no.
eating junk food, jumping on beds, and
It'd
enjoying
just
the
be
freedom,
cool.
until he finds out that the two burglars were planning to rob his home. Determined to protect it, Kevin sets up a bunch of clever booby traps to stop them, and ends up giving the bad guys way more than they bargained for. Now, the SML version of this movie would see some really good success and feedback from fans. This episode was actually pretty good. Honestly, this is one of the funniest and unique SML videos that, for an early take, this was really good and creative. 10 out of 10. Therefore, SML would decide later to make Home Alone 2. In this video, Brooklyn Guy, his wife, Simmons, and Elmo plan to rob Bowser's house, but they have to
Elmo.
delay it until the next night. That night, Bowser and Chef Pee-Pee head out, while Junior, coming down from a sugar crash, wakes up and realizes that he's home alone. So again, he sets up traps thinking he's just messing with Bowser and Chef Pee-Pee. The robbers sneak in, but Junior catches them in his traps and goes full on rampage mode. He throws a brick at Brooklyn Guy's wife, shoots Elmo, and knocks out Simmons with a crowbar. Just as he's about to take out Brooklyn Guy, Bowser and Chef Pee-Pee walk in. The robber escapes, and Junior casually asks Chef Pee-Pee to clean up the mess. Now, from both of these videos and movies, they didn't quite use the same reason for Junior being home alone as was in the movie, but they took clear, heavy inspiration from the robberies and the goofy booby traps that Kevin would set in the movie. However, while those two SML videos were based off iconic movies, SML movie Five Nights at Freddy's was based off the video game and movie. In this video, Brooklyn Guy shows up to Marvin's house looking for a
Well, there's
security guard for Freddy
few.
Fazbear's Pizza, and Jeffy, already dressed like a cop, jumps at the chance. At the pizzeria, they notice that some animatronics have gone missing, and even though Jeffy was with him the whole time, Brooklyn Guy still thinks Jeffy hid them. As they try to track them down, things start to get creepy. Foxy traps them in a room, the cameras go out, and the animatronics start popping up everywhere. After a chaotic attempt to escape, including a showdown with Freddy and a bunch of the animatronics. Jeffy and Brooklyn Guy barely make it out of there safely and return home. Yeah, this video was definitely interesting, but this was based off the first ever FNAF movie. In the movie, a desperate young guy takes over a job at this creepy old pizzeria that's been abandoned for years. He has a seriously messed up past.
I'm pretty sure it's
he brings his
more on
sister
the
along,
game.
but soon after, they realize this place isn't as empty as it seems, with haunted animatronics and a restless spirit lurking around. As they dig deeper, they're forced to face their own dark memories too, with a mysterious cop helping out. They fight to survive the night and uncover the truth behind what really happened at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Now, when it comes to the discussion on how accurate the video was from the movie, it was pretty similar. It would feature Brooklyn Guy and Jeffy, instead of the guy and his daughter, and would stick to the same plot with the animatronics. But now that we're on the topic of video games that also have movies, let's talk about SML movies Spider-Ken 1 and 2. In Spider-Ken 1, Junior starts off feeding his pet tarantula, Terrence. When Cody and Joseph come over, they all try to get the spider's attention by leaving Ken in the tank, but Terrence ends up biting him. While they're downstairs getting food from Chef Pee-Pee, Ken somehow becomes Spider-Man and saves the day by stopping a Green Goblin robbery, which shows up on the news and confuses everyone, and also made a pretty cool scene.
Hey, my scissors! How am I gonna get a picture of Spider-Man? Wait, what's that?
Spider-Man.
Oh my god! It's Spider-Man fighting the Green Goblin! Let me get my phone out! Oh, I gotta get a picture of this!
You might have taken my scissors, Spider-Man, but now you're gonna take these hands! Unweb me, Spider-Man!
Cody brushes it off just as people start dressing up, but when Green Goblin shows up again, Ken turns into Spider-Man, defeats him, and Cody realizes Ken is actually Spider-Ken. Turns out it was all pretend. Joseph was the Green Goblin, Cody was controlling Ken, and they tease a sequel once the video ends. Now, this video is based off the original Spider-Man movie from 2002. In the movie, there's a character named Peter Parker, who is just a nerdy high school kid.
There's a character named Peter Parker, like we don't know who. He says it like we don't know who that is. Who doesn't know who Peter Parker is, bro? You don't have to.
And is totally awkward around his crush, Mary Jane. But everything changes when he gets bitten by a radioactive spider during a school trip, suddenly gaining superpowers like wall crawling, web slinging, and super strength. Just as Peter's learning how to handle his new abilities, a rich but unhinged scientist named Norman Osborn turns into the villainous Green Goblin.
Norman.
After testing a dangerous serum on himself.
Go get him,
with the
Tobey
Green Goblin
Maguire.
wreaking havoc, Peter must embrace his
Tobey
new identity
Maguire,
as
you
Spider-Man
must get
and
him.
face off in a life or death battle that only one of them will walk away from. And of course, Spider-Man would come out victorious and win the fight against Green Goblin.
Tobey
Now, this
Maguire.
SML video was another one of the movie-inspired videos that actually went by most of the movie's real plot, which was very cool. We need another one. This was a cinematic masterpiece. I want a series
I thought
out
there
of
was
this. It's
another one.
amazing. And Logan would definitely listen to the fans, as he would come out with SML movie Spider-Ken 2 just a year later.
Wasn't there
In this video, Junior hangs out with Cody and Joseph.
Isn't there
who
3
wants
of them?
To go to the movies, but Cody says he can't because Spider-Ken just got a pizza delivery job. On their first
thought there's
delivery,
3.
Dr. Octopus complains about the toppings and demands a refund, leading to Spider-Ken getting in a string of absolutely crazy situations, stopping Karen from hitting Patrick, showing up on the news, and even fighting Doc Ock at the bank. Cody tries to help Ken clear his head by taking him to a play, but things get weirder when Doc Ock builds a giant disco ball, kidnaps Mary Jane, and ends up getting defeated by a disco ball thrown into a pool. After everything, Junior, Joseph, and Cody end off the video by asking everyone to like the video to get Spider-Ken 3. Now, this video would be a sequel to the Spider-Ken series, but it would also be based off the real Spider-Man sequel, which is Spider-Man 2 from 2004. In the movie, Peter Parker's life is falling apart. His love life is a mess, he's flunking school, losing jobs, and everyone thinks Spider-Man is a menace thanks to the Daily Bugle. Fed up, he finally decides to
Jonah
quit being
Jameson.
Spider-Man for good. But then, a science experiment goes horribly wrong, turning Dr. Otto Octavius into the dangerous Doc Ock, a supervillain with 4 mechanical arms. As chaos hits the city, Peter realizes the world might still need Spider-Man, so he indeed would come back and take down Doc Ock in a very fashionable way. Now, this video would be more like the other movie-based SML videos, and would mainly just take the main event from the movie, and Logan would make the rest of the plot on his own. But besides this, it was still a good video, and to this day, we still haven't gotten a Spider-Ken 3.
Really?
However,
I swear we did. Damn, the Mandela
all these
effect.
past to us
It has to be like some sort of Mandela effect, because I swear I remember a third one.
SML videos were based on
Guess we
cool
never did get a
action-packed
third one.
movies. The scary movie train never
Damn.
stops. As SML movie Frankenstein is the definition of scary. The video kicks off with Junior and Joseph playing a game, when Cody shows up and awkwardly joins. But things get weird fast, when they see on TV that Ken has been fully stuffed into Frankenstein's body, bringing him to life and sending him on a rampage. Cody lures Frankenstein to their house using peanut butter M&Ms, Ken's favorite, and they try everything from Taco Bell to Chef Pee-Pee's flaming Reese's Puff casserole to get Frankenstein to poop Ken out, but nothing works. Eventually, Brooklyn Guy shows up and does a monster mash bit, and when Frankenstein's bidding
Monster
fails,
mash.
he ends up pulling Ken out of Frankenstein's
Ow.
butt while doing a cavity search. With Ken finally back, Cody kisses him, no one wants to clean him, and they wrap it all up by dancing and singing Monster Mash like nothing insane just happened. Now, this video is probably based off of the oldest movie in this video, which is Frankenstein, released all the way back in 1931. Now, there was a 2025 version released, but this video was released before that, so it's most likely based off the 1931 edition. In the movie, Henry Frankenstein is a brilliant but obsessed scientist who's been secretly trying to bring the dead back to life. He finally creates a man using parts from graves and gallows, with his fiancée Elizabeth and his friend Victor worrying about his well-being. Henry succeeds in giving life to the creature, who turns out to be gentle but terrified of fire. Henry eventually realizes the creature may be too dangerous and agrees that it should be destroyed. But before that can happen, the monster escapes. Tragically, the creature accidentally kills a little girl in its confusion, and the angry villagers band together to hunt it down. Now, SML would actually do a pretty solid job of turning that old movie into one of their videos. Ken would probably be the dead body brought back to life. And while they'd add their own funny twists and weird moments, the main plot of the original movie is still kind of there. Now, a lot of you guys have
How do
probably
you
been
bring something that's never been alive back to life, though? A friggin' doll can't. Okay.
wondering where the funny,
yes.
wholesome movies have been. And the video, SML movie Air Bud, would be exactly that. In this video, Junior and Jeffy are playing basketball when Cody shows up with a dog. The gang jokingly pretends it's Air Bud after it accidentally scores a basket, so they film a TikTok of it. Brooklyn Guy, coaching a struggling basketball team, sees the video and thinks the dog is legit, so he shows up and takes it to help his team win. Meanwhile, Junior and the others realize that he's actually supposed to play in a basketball tournament, so they visit Joseph in the hospital after he got hit by a bus, and get ready for the big game, only to find themselves facing off against the team that took their dog. When the dog refuses to play, they fake it until Poopy, on a broken foot, hops in and scores the winning shot, leaving Junior's team defeated and Brooklyn Guy's crew off celebrating. Now, this movie is based off of the really funny 1997 film, Air Bud. In this movie, after losing his dad, 12-year-old Josh and his family move to a small town where he feels really shy and has no friends, especially when it comes to trying out for the basketball team. One day, while practicing alone, he meets Buddy, a stray golden retriever who's surprisingly amazing at playing basketball. Josh makes the team, and Buddy becomes the star halftime mascot, stealing the show and even getting some media buzz. But when Buddy's mean old owner shows up trying to cash in on Buddy's fame, it looks like Josh might have to say goodbye to his new best friend. Now, if it wasn't already clear, here, SML didn't really base it off the actual movie's plot, but they did take the main point of the movie's plot, like most movie-inspired SML videos. But it wouldn't stop fans from absolutely loving this video. Not only did they not fail to make me laugh, but it also took me down a trip down memory lane. This was such a great SML video. Keep up the good work, y'all. Now, that video was a really good one. However, SML movie Cody and the Sorcerer's Stone had many fans, especially the Harry Potter fans excited. In this video, Cody was just trying to sleep when Tyrone barges in, yelling at him for not doing the dishes. But Cody swears he already did. Turns out, Tyrone just ate and left a mess. But Cody has no idea.
It isn't even his job though, bro. He's the kid. You guys have to be the ones doing
and gets roped into doing them anyway.
The kid shouldn't be the one doing the dishes.
Judy storms in, saying it's past his bedtime, and she and Tyrone start arguing about whether the dishes or bedtime come first. Poor Cody gets stuck in the middle and gets grounded for talking back.
He shouldn't even do dishes. You're the parent. You do your own goddamn dishes, lazy.
Couldn't get any worse.
Lazy
a giant
ass.
and Haggard breaks in, claiming that Cody's a wizard. Cody freaks out and calls him a homeless man, but Haggard insists that he's not. Now, this plot was insanely weird, but it's still based off of the movie Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone from 2001. It shows the main character named Harry Potter, an average 11-year-old stuck living with his aunt and uncle. However, he would find out that he's actually a wizard. Yeah, total life changer. One day, this giant guy named Haggard shows up and whisks him away from his boring, miserable life and takes him to a magic school called Hogwarts. Turns out, Harry is kind of a big deal in the wizardry world because of something wild that happened to him when he was a baby. So he makes friends pretty fast.
I haven't watched anything related to Harry Potter, so what happened to him? And I'm keeping it that way because J.K. Rowling is a horrible person. She does not.
But it's not all fun and magic.
She's just in it for the money, bro.
Realizes that things in the wizard world can get pretty dark, and not everyone with a wand is on his side. Now, like I said earlier, the plot is pretty basic and didn't really do much of what went down in Harry Potter, but it did take the initial main point of the movie as inspiration, and then kind of went on to do its own thing that was still based on a lot of events from the movie. But it definitely would have been cool if SML did a series to this video. However, now that we're on the topic of early 2000s movies, let's take a look at SML movie Jeffy and the Jeff Monks. The video kicks off with Marvin asking Jeffy to help out with the dishes, but Jeffy ends up breaking a bunch of plates while goofing off. After Marvin gives him more chores, Jeffy gets his friends to help, and Cody uses a cloning machine powered by an Alvin and the Chipmunks DVD to make 3 Jeffy Chipmunk hybrids who start singing around the house. Marvin kicks them out, but then David Cross hears them perform and wants to make them famous, and would even pull up to the SML house just to recruit them.
Ian.
Hey there, did you guys hear some beautiful sounding music?
Yeah, that was us.
Really? Okay, well let me hear a tune.
Oh, so can you see?
Stop, I've heard enough. You guys are good. Hey, how would you guys like to be billionaires?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, just hop in.
Okay.
Yes!
He's got money hungry.
Be on the news, making tons of money. Jeffy and Marvin try to get them back from David's house, but the Chipmunks won't leave. So they go home, and Jeffy ends up still having to do chores. And Marvin would even smack him on the head to make the point. Now, this video did a really good representation of the insanely funny and iconic movie Alvin and the Chipmunks. If you guys somehow haven't seen that movie before. In the movie, we have 3 chipmunks: Alvin, Simon, and Theodore, living their best musical lives.
Simon, Theodore. I forgot how the I'm thinking of the show. How the intro goes. Alvin, Simon,
in a tree until it gets chopped down and shipped off to LA. There, they crash into the life of the struggling songwriter, Dave. And even though they kind of wreck his house, their singing totally blows him away. They team up to chase fame, but working with the mischievous chipmunk trio isn't exactly smooth sailing. Just when things start to take off, a shady record executive named Ian Hawke tries to split them up for his own gain. Dave and the Chipmunks have to figure out what really matters more, family or fame. Now, one thing can be said about the SML video. It's safe to say that Poopy and Ian was definitely the best decision Logan could have gone for this video. Poopy as Ian is the best role SML has ever given. Pablo as David Cross is everything. Now, the decision making
David Cross and Ian are different people. Aren't they? So like, why is he being called both of them?
Was really good, but SML movie Final Destination can for sure be in
Okay,
that
so
debate,
Final
too.
Destination is in this. I was wondering if
In
you
this
were gonna put
video,
this in,
Brooklyn
'cause
Guy-
it's not really a finished series. They've only done 2, and we know they're gonna do at least a 3rd one because they mentioned it in the end of the second
and
one.
Marvin's families are headed for vacation to St. Louis. But things get weird fast when Brooklyn Guy has a wild
Main
vision
reactions
mid-flight
to
that
this
the
video
pilot
already,
loses
so-
control over his cheating
It's in my
wife and crashes the
it's in
plane, killing
my Final
everybody.
Destination
He snaps
playlist.
out of
You guys
it
wanna
just as the real
go
pilot
watch
says
it.
the exact same thing heard in his vision. So Brooklyn Guy panics, forcing everyone off the plane. And everyone's mad until the news reports that the plane actually did crash. Back home, chaos follows. Karen gets her hand chopped off by the garbage disposal and accidentally burns herself alive. While
How do you
Jeffy
accidentally
gets
do that, though?
decapitated
Like,
by a
what?
ceiling
Be honest.
fan, and Rose dies in the bath.
The crazy thing is they actually killed off Jeffy in a video. One that's related to a series, unlike the Squid Game one where bro literally won.
Tub with her phone. Marvin
Well,
calls Brooklyn
season
Guy in
2.
a panic, and Brooklyn Guy realizes that
Still
they're in a
kinda
Final
working on that.
Destination type situation, so they decide to enjoy their last moments. But Marvin dies in a freak accident on the stairs, and Brooklyn Guy ends up at a strip club, ready to die by a hooker, only to get shot instead. Hence the video having this plot. It's very
bro
clearly
literally
based off
lives.
the 2000 movie Final Destination. The movie is about how Death doesn't like being cheated, and Alex Browning finds that out the hard way. Right before his high school French club's flight to Europe takes off, he has a terrifying vision of the plane exploding and freaks out, getting himself and 6 others kicked off. Sure enough, the plane really does blow up, just like in his vision, and suddenly everyone's looking at Alex like he's cursed or psychic, but it turns out that Death still has a plan, and as the survivors start dying one by one in freak accidents, Alex and his friends scramble to figure out how to beat fate before it's their turn. Now, after you heard this plot, you can tell that SML almost did a one-to-one inspiration of the plot, which is really cool to see, and this video was definitely liked by Logan and the crew, as they would make SML movie Final Destination
This one literally got taken off the channel, and I'm not really sure why.
2, based off the sequel to the 2000s Final Destination movie. In this
I watched
video,
every
Junior
one
and his
of
friends
them.
were trying to figure out what to
They're
do
all
when
good.
the idea of getting Frosties from Wendy's comes up, sparking an argument over who actually came up with it. Cody says it was him, but Junior insists
it
that it was
was.
his idea. They convince
Which
Chef
it
Pee Pee to
isn't.
take them, but right before they leave, Cody claims Ken had a psychic vision of a fiery car crash way out there. So he and Joseph bail out, and Junior and Chef Pee Pee head off without them. Later, the news confirms that there was a deadly crash near Wendy's, proving Ken's vision was real. And from there, things spiral into
No, they
total
all
chaos.
went home. What do you mean? Chef Pee Pee and Junior went out without them. They're
Chef
literally
Pee Pee
all home.
ruins
But
dinner.
okay.
Ken dies from bath toast, and Joseph gets
Ken
killed by a
dies,
pool
yeah.
ball. And
'Cause
Cody
he was
accidentally
definitely
swallows a
ever
fly
alive.
and dies too. Brooklyn Guy shows up and realizes that yet again they're caught in a Final Destination scenario. And in a desperate
Does he
attempt to
live?
avoid his own death, he strangles Junior to balance the books with Death. And then
I don't think it works
casually
like
claims
that.
his reward is going on a roller coaster, even though the whole thing was made with Matchbox cars. Now, obviously, this was based off of Final
Which the 3rd one is about.
Destination 2.
We might
It
get
used
it
a very
closer to Halloween now that I think about it. Maybe they'll release the 3rd one when it comes closer
similar
to
plot
that.
to the first movie, but it would be the car crash this time around. Another thing to point out is that the SML video is actually taken down from YouTube for unknown
why?
reasons, potentially due
Yeah,
to the
why?
mildly dark themes. But all I know is that this video got taken down when he got demonetized a few months ago, so maybe this was caught in collateral damage because of that, but I'm not really sure. Now, while that video had some dark themes, the whole plot of SML movie Friday the 13th can be considered dark, to say the least. So this video kicks off with Junior and his friends watching Hey Arnold, and being confused about an episode where Arnold and Helga hook up. Then they decide to play hide and seek. While hiding, they stumble across an old newspaper in Junior's wall about a kid who drowned in the backyard lake in 1957.
Literally watched every single one of
And
the
when
videos
Brooklyn
throughout
Guy
this
shows
whole video
up, he
so far.
remembers his dad warning him about the lake being haunted. Things get spooky when Jason Voorhees rises from the lake and starts hunting them down. Chef
I
Pee
can't
Pee
remember. Did they actually make this on Friday the 13th? I think they did. But then I think they had it got reposted I don't
They take
remember.
it seriously
I think they
until
did, though.
Jason shows up at the door and probably kills him. And the kids eventually figure out that water is Jason's weakness. In the end, after a ridiculous fight involving floaties and a bathroom showdown, they unmask Jason, only to get a very shocking surprise. They would find out that it was Chef Pee-Pee the whole time, just messing with them.
Which doesn't make sense because you could clearly see someone else's eyes right
Shocking
there, but okay.
surprise. They would find out that it was Chef Pee-Pee the whole
Like it's
time, just
Poobie.
messing with them.
Okay, Cody, let's see who this killer really is.
Okay. Nah, I didn't mean.
Alright, so this is pretty clearly based off of the iconic horror movie Friday the 13th, and this video was most likely also referencing the now common saying that whenever a Friday lands on the 13th of a month, very bad
Last Friday the 13th was July, I think. In September was
things
also.
tend to happen. In this
don't
movie, a
remember.
bunch of young camp counselors decide to reopen a summer camp at Crystal Lake.
No,
despite-
wasn't it literally? Wasn't September 3rd? No, that was last year. Hold up. Last Friday the 13th was. Yeah, June. June was the last Friday.
It's creepy past full of murders. The locals would warn that it's a bad idea, but the group, which is Jack, Alice, Bill, Macy, and Ned, shrug it off and get back to work. Before long, though, they realize someone's out murdering them one by one in brutal ways. As the killer closes in, the counselors are left to survive against Jason, who clearly is not messing around. Now, this plot is very similar to the SML video, with Logan even having a lake behind his filming house, making this video just the better. However, speaking of monsters in water-filled areas, let's talk about SML movie Night Swim. This video starts off with Junior and his friends eating, then deciding to go swimming even though it's cold out. Cody hesitates, but they all end up in the pool anyways. Things get weird when Joseph suddenly gets pulled underwater by something, and when Junior tries to get out, he realizes the pool won't let him leave either. It's like it's alive. Brooklyn guy shows up, helps Junior out, and brushes it off. But Junior starts to believe that there's a real monster in the pool after hearing Joseph's voice call for help. After a lot of back and forth, Junior finally tricks the monster by tossing a toaster into the pool and electrocuting it, ending the whole mess while Cody roasts him for not having a cool one-liner. Now, some of you are probably asking, what really is the monster in the pool? Well, in the actual movie that this is based off of, which is Night Swim, released in 2024, we would see that the pool contains a very demonic spirit.
Wow.
And in the movie, everything seemed
is
normal
a recent
at
movie, then.
first, and the pool felt like a fresh start. But soon, strange things started to happen, and it became clear that the pool has a creepy history. Before they know it, the family gets pulled into something way darker than they ever expected, and we see Ray sacrifice himself, just like Joseph did in a way, to save everyone else. Now, the concept of this movie on its own was just very cool, but SML also did a very good job at SMLifying the plot, as this was another video that was heavily loved. The horror parodies are on point. Can you guys make a parody of Smile? I love the horror movie parodies. Y'all should do Megan next.
It's Megan, not Megan. Why would you say Megan?
Now, many of these movies have
Megan.
been super iconic, but there's no better way to go into the last entry than talking about SML movie Bat Jeffy, which parodies one of, if not the most iconic superhero movies of all time, Batman. In this
kinda
video,
mid.
Joker's holding Elena hostage
Spider-Man is
until
better.
Batman shows up.
Spider-Man
Leading
is
to the
better.
dramatic back and forth
Spider-Man
full of
is
threats,
better.
mask shenanigans, and awkward flirting, until Elena casually calls an Uber to leave. After she leaves, Batman and Joker agree to fight with no weapons or killing. But of course, Joker breaks the
Bro's not gonna
rules,
lie.
shoots Batman mid-fight,
I mean, bro,
and runs
not
off
gonna-
laughing. Meanwhile, Brooklyn
Listen.
guy is trying to get the bat signal working. Chef Pee-Pee's broke and gets caught in Joker's chaotic bank robbery, which turns out to be pointless because there is no money. And Jeffy, who is dressed as Batman, is mistaken for the real deal and gets roped into stopping Joker. After Joker robs a gas station, Bat Jeffy shows up again and ends up spanking Joker as a punishment. And then
hell?
Brooklyn guy shoots him to shut him down, leaving the store in complete chaos and himself wondering if he can be the new Batman, before realizing that he probably can't. Now, Batman has had many movies in its time, but this one was inspired inspired by the original 1989 Batman. After seeing his parents get murdered as a kid, rich guy Bruce Wayne grows up to secretly fight crime in Gotham as Batman. Just like Jeffy was pretending to be Batman, Wayne was using his dark costume and gadgets to scare the crap out of bad guys. Things get wild when a creepy, unhinged villain named the Joker takes over the city.
The Joker!
And starts causing chaos everywhere. Now, Batman has to stop this maniac while keeping his true identity hidden. On top of that, he's trying to protect Vicky Vale, a reporter he's falling for, who also gets caught in the middle of all of it. Now, the movie and the SML video were mostly night and day differences when it came to the plot, but they still took the main plot of Batman and made it their own video from there. Also, not to mention, Anthony played the Joker really well in this video. Seeing
Honestly, Anthony in general is a really good actor. Him in general, he's good. Like, if I had to say one of my favorite cast members, it's probably Anthony for his acting skills. Like, his voice acting is really good, but character-wise is Jeffy. Like, character-wise is Jeffy, cast member-wise it's Anthony. And then second, after Anthony, it's Pooby. Wait, no. Pooby? It's Pooby or Lavelle. They're both like equally as good. And then Lance, and then Elena, and then Logan. I can't rate Logan high. He only plays like 2 characters. Sometimes every once in a while he'll play a small character, but like Junior and Marvin are his only main character.
Anthony as the Joker is amazing. Anthony might just be him. Get this man an Oscar for all of the roles he plays. Now, those weren't even all. There's still many more movies inspired by SML videos out there, so maybe I'll do a part 2. But for now, you should watch the video on screen. You sat through this whole video anyways.
Anyways, guys, so that's going to be the end of the video, and bye, guys.